In Splash Splash Love, Danby, a high school student, was heading to a college exam. It started raining, and she left her umbrella on the bus. Feeling stressed, she took a moment in the playground, wishing time could stop as she lacked confidence for the test. Suddenly, she heard drum sounds near a water puddle. Curious, she went closer and jumped in. To her surprise, she traveled back to ancient times in the Joseon dynasty. There, because of a long drought, the king and ministers sought rain from God but accidentally summoned Danby. Guards with swords came to Danby. Remembering a movie, she said God sent her for rain. Everyone bowed, so she ran and dressed as a guard. Later, she was caught by King's guard and take her to King. King Lee-do found a mobile that fell from Danby's bag. He was very interested in the rain on the mobile screen and wanted to get the rain immediately. King Lee-do wanted to cut Danby's arm for not able to bring rain. She asked King to spare her for her capability in math that helped him to revive his kingdom. She proved her ability to King Lee-do. The king was impressed and rewarded her with some gold. With the money, she rented a place to live from the king's bodyguard. Everyone thinks she is man, so she wears man clothes. She started to talk. King started with numbers. Danby competed with the king in the mathematical quiz. Whoever won would have the right to hit the other party on the head. Danby won, and she hit the head of the king. Then it was King's turn to win. The bodyguard took Danby's hand. The king was ready to cut Danby's arm, and suddenly, the queen came. The queen looked exactly like her best friend. Because of the queen's father, the queen was asked to marry King Lee-do. The one she loved is the king's bodyguard. The king was going to take his food. Suddenly, Danby's stomach grumbled with hunger. The king heard it. He teased the little eunuch with food. The king did not know that Danby was a girl. Danby took out an instant rice cake from her bag. She made it and offered it to the king. The king took a bite and found that it was a delicacy on earth that he had never eaten before. On the second day, the king had a stomach ache. The palace physician couldn't help it. Danby taught the group about the bowel system in the human body to make the king have diarrhea to cure it. She contributed to medical scripts and also served as an agricultural instructor later. Danby took the king for a selfie. The king was so frightened with the flashlight, but he enjoyed the cute photos taken. At night, both the king and Danby lay down on the ground as they were tired. The king accidentally touched Danby and sensed something was wrong. Luckily, Danby had hidden an orange at her chest. After Danby left, the king dazed. His feeling can't be wrong. Danby also began to have a special feeling towards the king. To secure the queen's status, the queen's father urged her to have a baby soon. So the father put medicine on the meal. Unexpectedly, on that night, Danby ate the queen's food. Since the king was not interested, the queen left. Danby slept peacefully in the arms of the king. The king did not do anything to Danby. On the next day, the king sent Danby home. The queen's father saw that the plan had failed. He caught Danby claiming that she was a liar. As of now, there was no rain as she promised. He tried to execute her with 5 horses, but the king's bodyguard came to rescue her. Both the king and Danby were separated. The king already fell in love with Danby. Danby too missed the king. Nevertheless, Danby continued to work hard to find solutions for people who need water. The king was bored during his free time without Danby. On the next day, it started to rain, and the king ran towards Danby. He recalled that Danby said she would travel back once it rained. The king hugged Danby and was reluctant to let Danby leave. Finally, Danby decided to stay. The queen's father didn't give up trying to find fault with Danby. He sent people to kill Danby, but luckily, she got protection from the king's bodyguard. Danby didn't have the skill to ride a horse, but she recalled Gangnam-style horseback riding dance sung in KTV. As she sang and moved her body, she managed to control the horse. The king met Danby at the beach. They spent the night barbecuing and seeing the stars together. On the other side, the queen chased out to find the king's bodyguards. They were childhood closest friends. The two separated because she was forced to marry the king by his father. Danby took out a Korean won from his bag. This king is the one who will appear on the banknotes in the future. She fell in love with the most important historical person in Korea. Soon Danby invented a high-end device that connecting the water from the river to bring solutions to people. The minister was impressed, and now Danby can finally live with the king. Danby offered instant noodles to the queen, and they became good friends. One day, Danby met with Empress Dowager. She looks exactly like her mother. Danby suddenly missed home and finally decided to leave. The king eventually agreed to let Danby go. Before leaving, he brought Danby to see his invention. Based on the words on Danby's uniform, the king invented Korean wording that continues to be used by society till today. Danby respected and admired this man that she loved. On the same night, the queen's father attacked Danby again. He put fire in the library. He wanted to kill Danby. The king ran in to rescue her and rescue her. Danby seemed to be in danger frequently. The king decided to let Danby go back and hoped they could be together in the next life. It was another rainy day. King Lee-do and Danby came to the beach. They embraced each other, and the king knew he and Danby would not have a happy ending if he continued this relationship. The king chose to let it go. Danby fell into the water and traveled back to modern times. The king was sad, and Danby emerged from the water at the road. It was still raining, and Danby ran to the examination hall. She rushed to the examination room on time, and the test question turned out to be an extraordinary experience to travel to ancient times. Another weekend passed. On a rainy day, someone suddenly covered Danby's head with an umbrella. Danby looked up. The man was King Lee-do. Finally, Danby got together with the man she loved, completing their love story.